Gale Force 9 has been working on this game, Doctor Who, what's it called again? Time of the Daleks.
Daleks.
Daleks?
I don't know. I'm sick. Anyways.
Clearly, we aren't Doctor Who fans, although you more than I somewhat.
I really am so far behind.
But you can't pronounce anything anyway.
Yeah,
so.
That's the problem. That's why when I said, I'm like, wait.
There's no
I
bearing
don't know.
on.
Also because I sound sick, so I'm like, I don't think I'm saying it right.
So whatever the case may be, they're publishing this board game, and they've been putting out some previews of exactly how it works. And it's kind of interesting because I feel like this really is the first time we've seen a real serious attempt at a full-on Doctor Who board game that isn't just like either an RPG or a miniatures game or a little card game, like the full kind of experience. And Gale Force 9, of course, has a history with sci-fi games at this point.
And doing them very well, which I'm very excited about.
So the way this one works is everybody is playing a doctor. Everybody. You're all one of the 12 doctors. The base set will only have 6 of them. And if you're curious which ones, I have them on my phone. I'll let you know later. But I'm sure they'll be releasing more later. And it is cooperative, but there's also a winner. So there's it's semi-co-op, I suppose you could say. And basically,
it's legendary co-op.
Yeah, it's like that. You are trying to get to this place first, sort of like a race, before the Daleks can erase all the doctors from history. That would just be no good at all. There's some interesting, funny mechanics. So everybody has their own doctor, their own TARDIS, which is a lot like the ship in Firefly, where it's like a board and you have equipment on it, and you have a companion. But the main mechanic of the game is you have a dice pool, and you're basically going to different planets and trying to solve a dilemma, which is trying to roll your dice and hope you get the right symbols, and using cards to augment it. You can also kind of help each other out by visiting the planet that they're on and stuff like that. One thing I really thought was people will either love or absolutely hate. I'm curious to see how it works in the game. When you move, you roll a TARDIS die. And if it's the TARDIS symbol, you go where you want to move to. If it's a question mark symbol, you draw a random location and you go where the TARDIS says you should go.
I can understand why people hate it, but at the same time, that sort of just fits exactly with the story because you don't even need to watch it. You can sort of get the idea of how, like, oh, yes, I know where I'm going. This is not where I thought I'd be. Like, the TARDIS is, I think, technically it's like a living creature. So it does have like a mind of its own, so it could still be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, it sounds hilarious, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that I'm sure there'll be ways to get around
modify,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking they must know what they're doing because that is a large element of randomness in a game that doesn't seem like it. It's a tough thing when you want to try to balance those issues. But yeah, I don't know. You know more. It's got Doctors 1, 4, and 5, and 10, 11, and 12. So you get some of the early ones and the latest ones.
Yeah, well, the 3 recent ones, you got to have the most recent one, obviously. And like I said, he's where I sort of dropped out, not because I didn't like it, just, things just happen. But like the 2 before are probably some of the most popular ones. And 1's the first one. And I know 4 is probably one of the most popular older Doctors. Like, he's the one you probably will see more references to. You'll like if people make jokes about Doctor Who, like with his, I think it's like 16-foot long scarf.
Sounds appropriate.
I would definitely love to see the other ones, but because I'd love to see them all. And I wonder if they would include. There's technically one who's like weird because he wasn't really called the Doctor. He took the name the Soldier or Warrior or something. It was the one time he decided to kill people.
Huh. Well, I'm sure, knowing Gale Force 9, if the game will be successful, they'll get to all that eventually.
And then, well, of course, when it becomes compatible with Firefly, so you time travel to those planets and finish the bounties there.
That's what excites me. Is it really does remind me of Firefly. It's just instead of your symbols to solve jobs, you have dice rolling, and the map is much different because it does this kind of cool thing where you actually take out planets and they're their own cards. So there's not like a fixed board. It can change every time you play, which is neat.
Which makes sense because in his sense, there's more of the time, space, warp thing. So it makes sense. It's not a nice, like in Firefly, it makes sense. There's a map here. But in his, it might not be. And also because time, be out going to this planet back 50 years before or later or whatever, whatever fits the case. And that should help a lot with in making the game more playable.
Yeah, so kudos to Gale Force 9 for maybe getting me into a Doctor Who related thing.
It won't work.
It was the first time I've ever really been interested in something Doctor Who because of their pedigree, and it looks like fun.
You say that, but we'll bring it to the table. We'll sit down, and then I'll sit down with a scarf and a sonic screwdriver, and you're like, I'm done. You'll just walk away.
I'm sure there's a scarf card. It does use art from the show. It's photographs. It's not original art like Firefly was. But they did a good job with that with Firefly, I think. And also take this opportunity because they had a notice over the holidays. One of their team members, Sean Swigert, passed away due to some kind of surgery complications. But we didn't.
Our condolences.
Yeah, I didn't know him
family.
personally, but they posted he worked on a lot of their games, including Firefly and Star Trek Ascendancy and WWE, the ones that we really like. So yeah, that's a loss for the gaming industry. So our hats off.